Welcome to episode 290 of the Bear Trap on the Boomer Buzz channel, Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry, and today doing a recap of our week 15 victory against the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm recording this a little early, about a minute 49 left, but I think we should win, hopefully. So anyway, what is there to say that has not been said for the last 3 years? This is what I call the same old story. This is what the Chicago Bears have been. This is what we continue to be. These aren't games where you learn a lot about yourself. If you are the type of team you think you are and you get into a game like this, you should go out there and take control of it. The only thing to really learn is that you aren't as good as you thought you were. And even though the game ended up pretty close, I think we handled it pretty well. But still, there's a lot to be desired, and there's still not a whole lot of competition that we're facing. That's what it is. I mean, the defense, we know what they are for the most part. And you have a bunch of injuries. I wouldn't say a bunch, but some key injuries in the secondary. So some backups having to come in and play there. Really, that doesn't have a whole lot to do with Dalvin Cook running for over 100 yards. But still, that allows for some type of movement against a team with weapons. And no matter how mediocre the Vikings have been, Justin Jefferson, Thielen, Dalvin Cook, they're big time weapons. And so they're going to find ways to make plays. And that's just what it is. But outside of that, I think we know how we roll on defense. So typically every week we're looking at the offense like, okay, what is that happening? And we just have not had the competition. I mean, casual fans are going to look at it and be like, oh my God, Trubisky is so good and this and that. And the better Bears fans, we're going to understand that it has been one of the worst defenses in the league. Last week, the Titans, one of the worst defenses. Not the Titans, sorry, the Lions, who are playing the Titans. The Lions are one of the worst defenses. The Texans and the Vikings aren't at all what they used to be. And they'd have Eric Kendricks out on top of that. So not even what we saw that Monday night. So some different outcomes. But even with that being said, I've said last week, it feels like there's some type of rhythm, some type of confidence, and that's what happens when you do well. When you succeed, you're going to have that type of confidence. And when you're playing against teams that you know aren't that great. So I'm not super shocked by it, but it is what it is. So one thing that I will say offensively looking at it is that we are getting super confined in what we do on offense. It is darn near the play action rollout show. That's literally all we do. And as I've said before, I mean, this game came down pretty close. Even when it was looking well at first, it came down pretty close with a so-so Viking team that's banged up. And so what that tells me is what I've always said. You can't hide your quarterback. When it's time to actually compete, you can't hide your quarterback, can't hide your run game. You just can't. And so to me, it's like, okay, we're still in the playoff hunt, and I want us to get in the playoffs because anything can happen. But until I see us beat a caliber team in the playoffs, then I'll believe it. But as of now, I understand we're just feasting on people we should be feasting on, and that's good. I mean, and even within this game that we do it well, there's still areas where it's like, oh, that's tough. And so you look at the overall thing, and for the last few years, which I get pushed back for every time I say it, but it's true, I've categorized the Bears as a team that they can beat you if they get a few lucky breaks, if things go their way. But I wouldn't say we're a competitor. I wouldn't say we're a team that every time we step on the field, we got a chance to win. And I wouldn't say we're a playoff team where it's like, of course, we're going to the playoffs and we got a chance to make a run. I think we're 2 notches below that. And so that's kind of how we played today. That's kind of how we've been playing. And I don't really see much difference. As far as the defense, it's the same thing. Bend, don't break. We try to eliminate the big plays, keep everything in front of us. Obviously, I think with the injuries, there was some time to exploit. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the same thing that I've been saying forever. And that is the lack of pass rush. Not to say that we never have pass rush or anything like that, but we don't have we're not a big rush team. We just aren't. I mean, you can stop and look at anybody that plays us on the film and you see it. Even guys like Kirk Cousins, which, has some mobility, but is not that type of quarterback. He can get out and he can extend plays and he can escape because we just do not have that type of team. And the Vikings offensive line isn't even that great. So, all of that goes into it where when we get to the teams that matter, that's going to be the difference is our lack of pass rush and our lack of ability to stay in the pocket and throw the ball on offense, not play action rollout, not all the gimmicks and all that. I mean, stay in the pocket and make the big plays, and run the ball. I mean, again, we've been running the ball against teams that aren't that good, but I think those are the main things. And until I see anything different, I can't really tell you anything different. And it's concerning to see Cook go for almost 150 yards today, but I don't think. I mean, Dalvin's really good, and I have to go to the film, but for the most part, I don't think we have an issue stopping the run. But what I've always said is if it gets past the first level, it's a problem. Like, if somebody on the front doesn't take care of it, the first level, then I will not trust the linebackers. I would not trust the safeties or the corners to take care of it. So, you get a guy, especially like Dalvin, he gets past the first level, he's cooking, no pun intended. And so that's just what it is. I mean, that's who we are. And as much arguments as I've had to go through over the last 3 seasons, we've been the same team ever since Nagy got here. And we continue to be that. So, all right, go down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I think we got a good chance to beat the Jags that just got absolutely smoked. And that'll keep us in the conversation. But we will need some help going forward to get into the playoffs. And again, I would rather get in than not get in, just see what happens. So, go to the comment section. Let me know what you think. Share it around. Get the conversation started. And remember, stay up and bear down.